was this talk like, who is this guy, Zeb?
Oh yeah.
I know that.
That was my first year.
I know, we didn't know you.
Well, no, it was really
entrance to the scene.
The moment was really very clearly standing head to knee, and I was like, who the hell is this guy?
This guy?
It's like, I love the way he said it, and you actually inspired me as a coach when I tell people at the time when we had to announce the postures. I'm like, there's this guy Zeb, and he picks up and he says the name of the posture. It's like powerful and strong, and so
yeah.
Yeah, it's commanding. You were commanding,
Yeah, I mean, it caught the attention.
It did.
That was the intention.
Well,
right?
it did.
It worked.
Yeah.
I mean, we still remember it.
Right, yeah.
Totally.
And that's my theater background coming out, like I didn't have the flexibility or the finesse quite yet, but I had the presence.
Yeah,
so
you're
I
like,
used
so
it.
that's my talent right now. I'm going there. That's really cool.
And it worked. Like I got to nationals that year.
Wow.
Yeah,
it was cool.
I remember that.
Where you were in nationals for that competition.
Yeah.
And how did you do there?
I think I tied for 3rd place that year.
Wow, your first one.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously inspired you enough to keep going, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at that time, you could find an advanced class pretty much every day of the week, somewhere in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So that's basically how I trained.
Yeah.
There was no routine for training or anything. It was just go to advanced class.
Yeah. Did you know Mary then at the time?
No.
Wow.
No. I started at Funky Door.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know Mary existed until the competition here that year. I just met her then.
You met her then?
Yeah. Pretty soon after that, I left San Francisco. I went down to teach in Texas, and then I just started bouncing around and traveling as a teacher. And it wasn't until 2 years later that I met one of Mary's students. I was in the Philippines.
Wow.
And I was wanting to learn more about training and get really serious about the competition. And so I met this woman in the Philippines, and she was like, so this is what Mary has us do. And I was like, Mary? I think I know that person.
Wow.
But I started training there.
Wow.
And then I think I went and did a training with Isak at one of his little clinics.
The Jedi.
You did the Jedi,
Yeah, and Mary came there, and that's the first time I really worked with her.
Wow.
We were there for a weekend with her.
Oh my gosh.
And then after that, I was like, well, I have to go find this woman.
Yeah. I just gotta be around her.
Yeah.
Wow.
The way she tells it, I just showed up on her doorstep. But I had actually emailed her and asked her if I could come. But he was like, he just showed up and then he wouldn't go away. So I stayed for 2 months and I was just like, teach me how to do this thing.
Wow.
And I mean, it was 2 or 3 classes a day and another 5 or 6 hours of yoga homework every day.
Wow. Wow. Then what happened? Then from there, did you move back to? No, you're still in San Francisco.
No, I was still sort of traveling at the time.
Okay.
So I hit a couple different states, and I was back in Texas for a while, and Maryland, and Boston. I was in South Boston teaching for a while.
Wow.
So yeah, I spent 3 years traveling around without really having a home per se.
Not landing anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then somehow I ended up back in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So I was, running the studio, training for competition. I would go out to see Mary whenever I could.
Oh, so you were still training with her when you could? Wow.
Yeah, and that was pretty much my life,
wow.
In the studio almost every day training. And
wow.
every year we would go and compete and get so inspired, and so it was like, okay, what's the next thing to work on? What do I do for next year? And it would be right back into it. The rules for a long time were if you won the competition,
you can't compete again.
You couldn't compete again. You were kind of done.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, so we were always sort of back and forth. It was Joseph and Jared and me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were sort of mortal enemies for a while. Just no, we were really good friends, but we'd only see each other at the competition. So it was always you, you. I was like, okay, Jared won and Joseph won, and I was like, okay, maybe it's my chance this year. And then they changed the rules and they let them all back in.
Oh!
And I was like, no! That's
like
that's so funny.
I was so upset for half a second. I was just like, what do I do?
Really?
But I just did my thing and went back, and it worked out.
It's almost sweeter now.
Yeah, it was.
In a way,
It was
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah.
To actually have to compete against all of them
Right.
again
Yes.
and somehow make it through, that was
Yeah,
really cool.
That is very cool.